This is Exchange Square in the heart of Europe's biggest financial district. It's the spiritual home of hedges, stocks, futures, and of course, Porsches. Though probably not ones like this. It's what I bought though, a 23-year-old 924. The Porsche that was designed for every man. I didn't spend 1,500 quid on my 924. I didn't even spend a grand. 750 quid. From the Porsche, 750 quid, and the lights pop up. I was feeling pleased until I saw what James had bought. You've got a 944! In white! This thing looks all right from like a really big distance.
What do you mean from a distance? It looks all right close up, I think. This has got the 2.5 litre four-cylinder engine, and it's a proper Porsche-developed engine. Whereas I think your car has the engine from a VW van.
What's his nib gonna go?
Well, I'm expecting him to have got one of those, to be honest.
In fact, his nibs had been rather more ambitious.
Yeah. Oh my! He's got a 928.
Absolutely, a 928. No everyman Porsche for me. This one has a 4.7-litre V8.
Four at most.
Then I give you a timeless classic, a proper Porsche.
Jeremy, you got a 928 on our budget.
Beneath this rather faded, ruined exterior beats a heart of pure arthritis.
Come and have a look at this. Come and have a look at this.
It's even full of junk.
No, these are the water bottles, which are a little bit necessary
Got you.
in order to make it kind of
Do you
move.
not think you may have overreached yourself a bit?
Well, I've seen one for more than this advertised as spares.
Now, but
really
I've got
hope
to have
so.
a look at what you've got. This looks quite good, actually.
From a distance. Look, it's been in a canal at some point. Hey, now, survey the magnificence.
This one has the van engine.
It has a good, simple...
Van engine.
I don't know what that is.
We got 3 Porsches, that's the
We
thing.
did get 3
There they
Porsches.
are.
Pretty
Van.
ropey, scrap. Mine looks pretty good.
Let's have a look at what the challenge is. Can we have an envelope, please? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Veteran cars can make it from London to Brighton, but can you?
No.
No, absolutely. So that's but why do it? 5 points are lost for each time you have to open the bonnet en route. Well, that's thousands for you.
Oh, no.
Throw the bonnet away. Rendezvous on the seafront to receive your next challenge, assuming you make it. ... Jeremy. So Brighton, basically, from here in
Brighton.
our
How far's
Porsches.
that?
It's
miles.
70 miles.
I'm very confident.
Well, I'll see you in the seaside then, chaps.
No, you won't. But all right, let's go.
I was the first to arrive.
Okay, what I've got here is a Fiat Coupe. Paid £900 for it, so the police could buy, getting on for 10 of these for the cost of 1 Astra. And this is the 20-valve 5-cylinder turbo version, so it does 152 miles an hour. And of course, if it were ever to appear on one of those police crash accident programs, it would make our officers look rakish.
Sadly, the same couldn't be said of James's car.
Masonry opens doors, James. Here, look, let me show you.
Morning.
Well, I know to join the police, you have to be in the Masons, and therefore you've got a Mason's car. Therefore, I'm doing the secret handshake.
Morning.
It's a Lexus, James.
It is, yes.
And you paid...
£900.
But you could have had one of these. I paid £900 for that. Much better. OK, the police has a recruitment problem.
Yes.
So you've got an advert saying wanted policemen to spend all day driving around in very boring Lexus, or policemen wanted to drive 20-valve turbocharged R-registered Fiat Coupe.
To the garage.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Not yet.
Our argument was then brought to a shuddering halt.
But it is.
Officer Barbie has arrived.
Yeah. Well, they all run around in Range
It's
Rovers.
a police, not a hairdressing salon.
You see police in Range Rovers all the time. This is a budget, but I think pretty nifty alternative. It is a 1994 Suzuki Vitara 1.6 JLX SE.
How's this going to look when you pull up outside someone's house to tell them that their husband's just been killed in an industrial accident?
James and Richard then set about my Don Johnson mobile.
So you're going to get climb into the cab of the AA recovery vehicle and say, follow that.
You're nicked. And have you got a fan belt for an old Fiat? Because it's back there.
But I retaliated by demonstrating a special feature.
Can you open the boot?
Yeah, done that.
You see,
Yeah.
an armed siege, okay?
Yeah.
I'm pinned down in the car by Robert De Niro. I need to get at my M16. I just come through here without getting out of the car.
It really was time for a challenge. We don't yet know what we've got to do.
Well, if it's go to Brighton and pose undercover in gay clubs, you're right there already.
Yeah.
We've got a challenge here, boys.
Please don't let it have the word Brighton in it.
Now that you have your cars, you must each use your skill and ingenuity to turn them into the perfect modern police car for no more than £500. You must meet up at the track for a series of tests to find out which one is best.
And finally, Hammond arrived.
I knew he'd buy a BMW Rex.
Actually, it looks very good.
Yeah.
Your handbrake
Your
working
handbrake.
well there, then, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
just,
Oh, dear.
it's, you know, reasonably well. Anyway, he's bought a grandfather clock.
He has. Anyway, let's just have a look at this.
Hang on a minute.
Is it an M? What is it?
He's
6-3?
forgotten to put his red braces on.
Oh, shut up.
633?
This is a 635, 1983. Oh, yeah.
You can go
That's
635.
635 within budget. What have you got? Oh my God!
What?
It's a wheelie bin.
We
Look
have
at
to get
it.
on with this challenge, because
Yes.
have you seen under his car?
Pool of oil and it's growing.
No, there's plenty in there, though.
So, first challenge, and it is here, thank you very much, High-Speed Bowl Challenge. You will drive around the banked high-speed circuit as quickly as possible. 140 miles an hour is your target speed. Points are lost for failing to achieve it and gained for beating it. I tell you what,
What?
I think this is the first time in all of Top Gear's history where all three of us like all three of the cars. I mean, normally I get out and go, yours is rubbish and you've made the wrong decision and I'm the only one who's done it properly.
No, it's a good point, actually, because I do like your car, and I do like your car, Hammond, and I like my car,
It's a
obviously. I
GTR.
do-
You can't not
Yeah.
like a GTR.
If you like driving above all else and to the exclusion of all other considerations, you have to have one of these. If you have a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, what you're saying is, I'm not that interested in driving.
It's showing off.
It's showing off. Speaking of which, the Bentley Continental. Now, what happened there?
We used to think it was a bit dull, and now it's sort of good.
But it was overnight.
It was.
We all must have woken up
I hate the Bentley
independently.
Continental. I hate
Yes.
the Bentley Continental. I hate the Bentley Continental. God, I love the Bentley Continental. I don't understand that, because they haven't changed the styling much.
Not since. I mean, it's been around a while now, but
But then you just woke up one morning, I went, that looks really good.
I'd actually have a yellow one as well. I think it looks tremendous.
But then while we're on the subject of styling, oh, how we mocked when they said they were going to do this. Right, so you're going to do a four-door version of a two-door version of a four-door saloon car. And then it came out, you just thought, that is so good looking.
I love that back wheel. That dished back wheel in there looks super.
this
It's fantastic,
and then
isn't it?
Almost a double bubble roof. I
Yeah.
know it's carbon fibre, which is a little bit.
but
You know, we can gloss over that.
But God, it looks good.
As we continued our three-car love-in, a challenge arrived.
Here we go. You will drive to a farm, which is 4 days from here. Everything's 4 days from everything in Australia. And when you arrive, you will use your cars to round up 4,000 cows.
Can you do that?
The farm is a big one, 3 million acres.
No,
We
it's
read
not
that
3
wrong.
million.
Oh, it's in
I know it's in work, yeah. It's not. Are you sure?
It's 300,000.
That's
3 million
a
is a
big
country.
farm.
Never mind that. Rounding up 4,000 cows using...
These.
Oh, God, James, what have you done?
What's he done? What?
As we know, there is a strong Republican movement in this country, people who think it's ridiculous to have a head of state living in London on the other side of the world. He turns up here with that on the number plate.
What?
Can you not see that? It's obvious.
No.
Charles and Camilla. You've done it on purpose, haven't you, James?
No,
You
look, let me explain.
Blithering idiot.
You idiot!
Oh no! Mine
And you
says big royalist.
It does!
It totally does. You
Big
can see it.
royalist. Luckily, mine just says BMW 001 because I covered myself on this occasion.
No, you idiot. Bloody Mrs. Windsor.
Oh no, bloody Mrs. Windsor!
Trouble now.
How can you possibly know? I rang them up and said, can you provide a car? Can you make sure the number plate doesn't say convict or anything on it? And they've done that! We're going to have to drive through it. We'll be stoned by Republicans.
It's the Caterham 7, but it's no ordinary Caterham 7. This is the R500 Superlight. It is, as you'd guess, less heavy. It has no frills, no adornments, no garnish apart from a few stripes. It's simple, it's pure, it's an unadulterated driving experience, and I absolutely love it. But, and this is a weird thing, Jeremy Clarkson believes he's come up with something better.
Yes, I have. This is the KTM crossbow. Part insect, part terrain-following missile.
Wait a minute.
What?
I thought you were bringing that new thing they're making in Cheshire.
What, the BAC Mono?
Yes.
It broke down
Where did it break down?
in the factory.
What, it broke down while they were still building it?
Yes. No, it really did. So, this is my second choice, and despite that, it's still better than yours.
Is it?
Yes.
Why is that then?
Because yours is from the 1950s, and this is from this morning. Carbon fibre panels, mid-engined, pushrod actuated, double wishbone suspension.
How much is it?
49,000.
Yeah, you see, mine's £41,000, so it's cheaper.
Yes.
And it's better.
This was fine in 1961.
It's not the same car anymore, is it? It's got, you know, a better engine, it's got better suspension, better materials, it's been made slightly wider, it's got modern instruments, it's got
Modern
a
instruments?
sequential shift.
At this point, we were joined by our colleague.
What in the name of all that's holy?
Ha-ha! You see, if you want a car built purely for fun, then you want this. It's the latest Morgan. It's made largely from aluminium, which is mixed with wood. But then that's the way Morgan build their cars, you see.
Why has it got RAF roundels on it?
Well, because, interestingly, it has been styled to look reminiscent of an aeroplane. It's got aeroplane
hasn't got
style.
wings.
It's got aeroplane-style gauges.
Why is the engine not in the car?
Because it's an air-cooled V-twin, and it needs to be outside because that's where the air is.
What's in there?
Oil tank and the battery.
I think move to the back, if we may, Hammond,
Yes,
where we
of
have
course.
another question. And the question I'm going to ask is, it doesn't have any back wheels.
No, it does. It has one in the middle there.
So it's actually a tricycle.
It is a
It's
tricycle.
a three-wheeler. It's reminiscent of the original Morgan three-wheeler. Like, ask me what it weighs. Ask me what it weighs.
What does it weigh?
495 kilos. Less than 500 kilos.
But it's only half
The
a
reason,
car.
if I sawed my leg off, I'd weigh much less than I do now. I wouldn't actually function anymore. I'd keep falling
This
over.
is good. You could pick this up and put it in your pocket if you so
It
chose.
looks like a coal scuttle.
I've got to ask, how much?
With taxes and things?
Yes.
Yeah. £30,000.
£30,000?
It'd probably be 40 if it had four wheels.
Did you say as well, it's made from wood?
That's how Morgan build cars, coach build.
Traditional.
So there are
I
elements of wood
reckon
in
if
here.
you went to Morgan and said, would you like some diphtheria, they'd say, yes, please, because that's traditional.
Wood
It's
is
a good
light
point.
and flexible and endlessly renewable and an excellent material to build cars from. The only reason more people don't do it is that you need craftsmen to build it. You can't just have some week pressing a button and stamping them out.
That's not true.
The
The Nissan GCR would be worse if it was made of wood.
The early aeroplanes were made from wood, but the Boeing 747 isn't. There's no wood in it.
Eventually, the producer.
So we took the plunge as well, and an hour later met up at the American War Museum with our cheap as chips wheels. I bought this. It's a Minsk, Russian, 125cc, and it's, well, basically the AK-47 of bikes. Rugged, simple, easy to repair. It is built specifically to be used in countries where there are no roads. It will be, for whatever they throw at us, perfect.
I've gone completely native and I've bought this. It's an ancient Honda 50 Super Cub, the greatest motorcycle in history. Over 60 million of those have been built, and it is a greater liberator of the people than, well, that American tank, for example.
I've bought this, which is a motorcycle.
And technically, this is a scooter.
It
If I
is.
let go now, it'll just fall over.
Nope, it's got a thing called a stand.
You really don't know anything about
Nothing.
bikes, do you? I mean, really
Nothing.
Tell you what I will say, it is actually very pretty, but
That's
also
lovely.
it's going to be useless because whatever the challenge is, tiny wheels and looking good, that's not going to help you.
He's
If
right.
the
Why are
challenge
tiny
happens-
wheels wrong?
Because the holes are big and the little wheels go
What
further
holes?
into them. Well, holes in the road.
So you'll be all over the place.
How many cylinders has it got?
One.
One.
It's two-stroke.
It was time for the main challenge.
I promise you, I'm not interested in this.
You will now attempt to achieve in 8 days what the Americans failed to achieve in 10 years. Get from the south of Vietnam to the north. You will ride from here in Saigon to Halong City, near the Chinese border, which is 1,000 miles away. That is that is the best challenge we've ever had.
I'm going. I'm getting. Get his bike started. Let's
Honestly,
go.
that is fantastic.
I can't do that. I can't do... Guys, I can't do that. I can't ride a bike. Ridiculous. I'm sorry, this is stupid.
You're
And
such
I'm
a
not joking, it
misery
is. I
dust.
don't know who came up with this, but it's daft.
I think it's brilliant. I'm
It's
more
excellent.
excited than anything we've ever done.
I can't believe you're being a misery gust.
Because it's 1,000 miles in the rainy
know,
season.
that's the best
it's
thing about
1,000
it.
miles in the rainy season in a country with not very good roads, and I can't ride a bike.
So the producers said we should leave the town and... Our meeting point was Millbrook in Bedfordshire, the biggest and most daunting test track in Britain. Its 2-mile banked circuit, its rough roads and its formidable alpine handling track are designed to test brand new cars to destruction. So what kind of havoc will they wreak on our 1,500 quid bangers? I was the first to arrive with my two-door coupe that isn't a Porsche.
What it is a Mitsubishi Starion. I've always loved these things, and this is the last one ever imported into Britain. It's a wide-bodied 2.6-litre turbo, 14 years old, done 81,000 miles, few bumps and scrapes, of course, but mechanically, quite good order.
James had bought himself a 1,000-year-old antique.
Well, James.
It's a Jag, it's got 12 cylinders, and it's gold, sir. Look at that.
I'm really quite cross because it doesn't appear to be. I mean, I assumed it because I never even bothered looking for an XJS because I thought it would just be rubbish for this money.
I never bothered looking for a Starion because I just knew it was rubbish, full stop.
Don't you like the DeLorean rear thing?
Yes, did DeLorean use gaffer tape as well?